You know, working with Robert Kiyosaki, the author of the best-selling business book of all time, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, has taught me some things that completely changed the way that I look at using gold and silver. Now, it has nothing to do with pretty collectible coins. It has nothing to do with flipping silver to make millions, get rich quick overnight type of stuff. No, the reality is that to build real wealth with gold and silver in 2025, you're going to need some fundamentals in place that, frankly, most people that I talk to have no idea about. In this video, what I'm going to do is walk you through some of the things that Robert Kiyosaki has said, but not just in his books and not just when he speaks on stage, but behind the scene that most people have never heard of, no idea, and it is what is going to make you grow fundamentally in your wealth protection and income creation in 2025 and join the top 1% who use precious metals for this purpose. So with that being said, let's get on with it. This is going to be more of a off-the-cuff video on how I think about precious metals investing and compared with what Robert Kiyosaki teaches publicly and what most gold and silver gurus are telling you. Okay, so I'm going to cover areas. Let's start with the first one, like, physical versus paper collecting of gold and silver. What do I mean by paper? Well, I'm talking about investing in gold mining stocks or gold mutual funds or ETFs that have to do with gold or silver. And a lot of times I'll just use the word gold for gold and silver. But when I talk about silver, it's going to be what Robert really believes about the short-term versus long-term potential about silver versus gold, okay? As a matter of fact, let me just tell you what that is first. You see, right now, silver is tremendously underpriced compared to gold. Gold has run up since the beginning of this year, 2025 we're talking about, like crazy. Silver has gone up too. However, it hasn't gone up at the same percentage yet. So right now, the ratio of gold price to silver price is approximately 100 to 1, okay? So in other words, you would need 100 ounces of silver to equal 1 ounce of gold. So what does that do? Well, it has to do with the fact that over history, silver has traditionally been where gold-silver ratio is about 40. So at 100, it means gold is either overpriced, which I don't believe it is, or silver is dramatically underpriced, which I do believe it is, and certainly Robert does too. And as a result, a person as wealthy as he is not just collects physical gold and silver, but he also owns physical mines, and then he can have it smelted down, refined, and keep it. But you and I don't have that ability. And so what would you do if you want the best shortest return is you try to invest in silver bullion, which is your gold and silver eagles, your gold and silver bar, any of those forms. Now, that being said, if you are looking for what has the most potential of going up the quickest, that would be silver right now. Not to mention it's cheaper per ounce. However, you probably have heard in other videos, I use a particular source. It's like a Costco membership, but it's not for Costco. This is a membership with a very specific company that gets dealer direct pricing, meaning the lowest possible pricing on planet Earth. And they pass that along to you and beat other dealers out there. I'm not just talking about coin dealers and pawn shops. I'm talking about internet too. And you don't even have to have it shipped to you. If you don't want to, it'll be kept for you physically in private storage. And I've covered that in other videos. So you can check out the library and learn more about those and what the benefits are. And there are many. And you can convert it back to cash with a click of a button 24/7. And if the dollar is losing its value, that's why gold and silver are going up, because they go in opposite direction. And a lot of people are selling or taking their savings, like dollars, and they're getting gold and silver, which holds the value. And then as the dollar continues to go down, gold and silver go up, and you can always cash it back out and you get more dollars than you put in. Wow. that works really well. And if you don't need to cash it out, great. You can hold on to it for the long run, because over 25 years, as you probably have heard in my other videos many times, is gold has outperformed the Dow Industrials and the S&P 500 over the last 25 years. So as a long-term hold, it beats the stocks, and you don't have to worry about all the ups and downs in between. So what Robert won't tell you specifically is take your money out of your ETFs for gold, take them out of stocks, and put it into actual physical gold and silver, and weigh your portfolio where you probably have double or triple the amount of silver that you're getting versus gold because of the high ratio, which means silver is going to rise relative to gold. And that's exactly what you want to see. That being said, how do you actually do it? As I mentioned, it's as simple as pressing a button, because your bank account can be linked to the Dealer Direct site with your membership. And anytime you want to buy any amount, and I'm talking if you want to buy $1 worth or $1 million worth, it doesn't matter, because it's going to be stored as physical gold and silver, but you're going to own a digital percentage of it. Now, what does that mean? If you want to own one Bitcoin, it'd cost you $120,000. But if you wanted to own 1/10,000th of a Bitcoin, you can buy it. If you just want to buy $10 worth of Bitcoin, you can do it digitally, okay? The difference is it's not backed by anything physical. It's just blockchain. But if you look at gold, you can buy percentages of that gold digitally. And every time you get even numbers of ounces, you can have it shipped to you if you want, because it's physically there in American Eagles, gold and silver Eagles. And with that being said, you can be comfortable in the knowledge that you're getting the benefits without the worry of having to store it at your own house. That's the truth. So it's really simple. If you just look at the first link below, it'll connect you to my calendar, and you can schedule an appointment with me, and I will gladly tell you the name of this Dealer Direct company that you can buy. I won't hold anything back. For obvious reasons, I just don't put it out publicly on this video, but I do tell you that the ability is there. And it is. And I've been doing it for 3.5 years, and it's been massively successful. Now, with that being said, let's get to the other things that Robert will tell me privately. This has to do with coin dealer. It has to do with pawnbroker. It has to do with even these internet companies. They have too high a markup over spot. That's how you deal with gold and silver bullion. It's based on the New York Stock Exchange stock price, or the London Stock Exchange spot price of gold and silver. It just means what they're expecting the futures to be. Forget all about that. It's irrelevant. Every one of these other dealers are going to tack a massive commission on, anywhere from 3 to 6%. And then they have other fees, and then they have shipping, and then they have insurance. And by the time you get it, the coin almost has to double per ounce for you to break even. That's where people get taken. And you need to not do that. You need to go direct to the source that gives you a couple or 3% over the spot. And that's all their profit is. There's no hidden commissions, there's no fees. But why do people get it wrong? Why do they get ripped off? The answer is they don't know any better. They maybe dabbled in buying a little gold and silver, and where they probably got it was a coin shop or a gold buyer and sell, they buy and sell gold and silver. Those places, it's tempting, but you don't really know that you're paying all these extra fees. And if you ever wanted to take it back to them to sell, they're going to give you spot minus a percentage, so they win selling and buying, and you get taken either way. The company that I use, they guarantee that they will buy it for at least 2% over spot back from you anytime you want. So what does that mean? You don't have to ship it. You don't have to mail it. It's already there in a private vault with your name on it. So basically, they just convert it back, whatever amount you own, and they'll give you a guarantee of 102% of spot. There's nobody on the internet that does that. So this is something Robert is never going to tell you on stage, because it would cause too much mayhem, period, around the world having to deal with that. Can you imagine what all the coin dealers and brokers, whether it be internet or pawn shops, would say if that happened? But you need to have reputable dealers, and that's somebody who's been in business. Somebody I use has been almost 9 years in business, and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. So that being said, I can tell you later if you want to know. Just book an appointment. Now, how do you time your precious metals purchases? Timing is everything, and what Robert will tell you in his book, and he'll tell you on stage, is save your money and don't waste it on stuff. And then take your savings and just buy precious metals. He doesn't talk about the price because over time it goes up. Where people make the mistake, and what he doesn't tell you, is they think they can beat the market and time when gold and silver are going up or down. And they will wait for it to go down. But if it tends to go the opposite direction, then they don't buy it when they could have, and it keeps going up, and it never comes down to what they were willing, and they stay out on the sideline. Well, that's not good. So what you want to do is cost average. What does that mean? You probably heard the term dollar cost averaging. They use it in the stock market all the time. That's how brokers get away with losing you money. Is they just say, it went down, buy more. Oh, it went up, buy more. It doesn't matter which way it goes, they're going to tell you to buy more because they make commissions when you do. With gold and silver, what dollar cost averaging means is over time, gold and silver go up. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're not catching it at a low or catching it at a high. You should set it and forget it. Pick a day of the month, whether it be 1st, 15th, 28th, whatever it is. It could even be weekly. It could be like on the 1st, the 8th. Pick an amount that you are comfortable with and then set it to automatically take it out of your bank account, put it in the private vault, and you've now bought the gold and silver at the best possible dealer direct wholesale prices, being a member. That's as simple as it is. Now, when you do it that way, you don't even miss the money. You have budgeted for it, and then it just keeps adding up. Let's just say gold just did nothing but go up over time. You're going to be buying it at more and more expensive, but that means what you bought earlier has made a profit. Think about it, okay? And most people don't. They just say, I don't want to pay too much. How many people right now look at the price of gold at $3,500, $3,600 an ounce, and they say, I could have bought it when it was $300 an ounce. What if you did? That would have been great, but you didn't, and most people didn't. So when is the right time to start? Right now. Now is the time to start. It's better now than not at all. And then set a specific time for a specific amount. Now, if you start making more money, if your income goes up, then raise the amount you're going to save. Pretty simple, right? Just don't waste it on things that are not necessary or depreciate. Example, if you had a lot of cash, don't go buy a car for cash because it instantly goes down in value. I've talked about this before. What you should do is use some of your appreciated gold and then use that for your down payment so you're actually getting value. And then as you pay interest on your car loan, your gold is going up over time, getting you back the money and interest on your car loan. This is how you take advantage of the system where a lot of people don't. And by the way, you can also borrow as collateral against gold and silver. As long as you can prove you have it, then the banks can loan against that, just like they would loan against, your goodwill or your high credit rating or your income from your job. But what they usually do is take the house, if you're getting a house loan or a car loan, they'll repossess your car or they'll foreclose on your house if you can't make the payment. So you want to be smart about what you're doing. Now, where are you going to store your gold? If you want to keep it liquid, this is something he never talks about in his books or on stage. He says you should own it, but he never tells you where, okay? Because he didn't want to come off as giving you investment advice, and that's how a big name figure like him could be misconstrued. So I don't want to give you investment advice either, but I want to tell you, you want to be secure with your gold and silver, and the best way is a private vault off-site, so you don't have people breaking your house trying to find your gold and silver or your asset. A private vault nobody knows about, and then with a click of a button on your computer or your cell phone, you can transfer it back to cash right into your bank account, or you can have the metal physically mailed to you via FedEx. It's whatever you want, but it's simple and easy when you store it off-site. But I like the ability to do it digitally, so backed by the physical gold, so that I could turn that into fiat cash anytime I want, and then use the cash for the purpose that you have. So storage should be offsite in a private vault. And like I said, our members get that free of charge. They also get free, no storage fees, even up to $50,000 of assets. And if you want to keep more gold and silver than that, then it's like 1/10 of what anyone else charges for storage fees. So you can't beat that with a stick. So he makes it sound in his books like you should have it at home, but you really shouldn't. And we agree on that. Kiyosaki has tons of gold and silver. You think he's keeping that in his house? And by the way, you don't necessarily want to keep it in one of these these publicly named storage companies, like the ones that take money from a store to a bank. You know who I'm talking about. Because if you look it up, there's a lot of fraud, there's a lot of theft, and you need it where it's not being taken places. It's just there. Backed by insurance, backed by physical inventory, backed by audits so that you know it's real. All right. Now, another mistake that people make is understanding leverage with your precious metal. One time in a private communication, it was a Zoom that I was on, he talked about use your metal as collateral to get cash for either a down payment or a loan on something physical like real estate. And then you watch it go up in value because real estate always goes up over time. Do you have dips? Absolutely. I remember when my parents had bought their first house, it was like $30,000. And then later when they retired and sold it, they got like $700,000. That's a big change. And so it is good to hold real estate, but that's not the topic we're talking about. So how do you do both? Use your gold as collateral. A lot of banks will give you money as long as you prove it. They may want you to take the gold to them so they can store it in their vault and hold it till you pay your loan back, which is perfectly fine because when's the last time, other than movies, you heard about somebody robbing a bank for gold in the vault? Maybe in a Die Hard movie, but that'd be about it. So it's not happening in real life. So the way you use it to build your empire is leverage. Now, that means using it as collateral. And when you book a call with me, I can tell you more of those techniques. There's something else that you really need to know is people have misunderstood how gold and silver work. So what you need is education. If you don't have that, get it. You can get it by talking to me. I'll be happy to share. No cost. Don't worry about that. You can also get it from education that your membership will get you with this dealer direct company. So you get free education. You get free knowledge. You get free training. Lastly, I want to talk about one other thing. And that is, this is something you're never going to hear Robert talk about on stage. I've been telling you that I use a specific company that has a membership model to get the best prices on the purchase and the sale of gold and silver. And they give you storage, they give you insurance, all that stuff. There's one thing that this has, which most people have never even heard of, and that is the ability to get free gold and free silver. That's right. I have gotten a lot of free gold and a lot of free silver over the years, thousands of dollars worth, free. How did I get it? Simply by sharing the name and membership information for this company. And if other people want to become a member, then you will make free gold and free silver. On top of that, should they buy other gold and silver for themselves, because they were a referral by you, you will get free gold and silver as a referral. Why wouldn't I want that? Now I'm building my wealth. And then I could increase it just by simply telling more people. Now, this is your best form of advertising, FYI. Some of you may have heard this before, maybe you didn't. But if you tell a person about a good movie and they go and see it, the theater does not give you a free ticket as a thank you. They don't give you anything, not even free popcorn. If you refer a person to a restaurant, you don't ever even hear from the restaurant owners. They don't give you a thank you call, nothing. You don't get anything. Same with a mechanic. If you refer somebody to a mechanic. Why would we refer people? Because we want to do them a favor. What better favor could you do friends, loved ones, co-workers, you name it, maybe members of your church or synagogue, whatever the case may be? What's better than helping educate them and helping them get the benefits of the lowest prices of gold and silver accumulation and the best prices for sale? Who's going to say, oh, I'm mad at you for telling me that? Absolutely nobody. But getting free gold and silver is a reward. And by the way, there's even ways to get free cash, meaning just get cash. If you want to know more about that, you schedule it, we'll go from there. So that's everything Robert Kiyosaki taught me about real precious metal investing over the years. Now, there's a lot there to be sure, but if you take any one of these techniques that I have already shared with you and actually implement them, I mean, truly put them to work, then I am sure you'll see growth in your precious metals positions in as little as 30 days. The thing is though, Robert's precious metal strategies work, but they're not always easy to implement all by yourself, especially if you haven't done it a lot. And even if you have, you've probably been doing it wrong. So changing a habit may not be the easiest thing to do. And frankly, most people will watch this video, nod their heads, and then go right back to buying gold and silver from overpriced dealers that you got stuck with in the first place. So look, if you are very interested in improving your position and learning how I do it, and you would like to talk to me about it, I'm open. All you got to do is schedule a conversation. And I have my calendar in the first link below this video. So go ahead and look at that, press it, and make an appointment, and let's talk. What I'll do is I'll show you specifically what I've done, and then by the time you're done, you'll be able to watch precious metals not only preserve your wealth against inflation, but you'll be able to grow your wealth as well. And so please, let's talk. All right, there's no obligation, there's no pressure. It's just that I want to help you. And so thanks for watching this video. Be sure and like it so that you can come back and watch it again if you want. Subscribe, please, if you can. But most importantly, I'll see you on the next video.